Good morning, YouTube. So, I did a thing, as they say. I have a new kayak. This is a Stealth Fisha 460. I bought this from my buddy Ruben. I should say I ordered it from him, and it took about a year to get here. I ordered this during the absolute bucket of Rona. That delayed everything. Then there were floods in the country of origin, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the wait is over. It's here, and it's fucking amazing. There's a strong following in my area for stealth kayaks. I think primarily because the ocean where I live is generally horrible, and these are manufactured in an area where they have similar marine conditions, and they just work good here. They are nothing like what's popular nowadays in the United States for generalized kayak fishing. This boat is Stealth's fattest boat at 26 inches wide, which is at least a foot narrower. That is a huge amount than most popular pedal kayaks on the market right now. I still have a Jackson Kraken 13, which I absolutely intend to keep. I love that boat. But for places where I want to go farther, if I want to fish live bait, if I want to go offshore, this boat has a lot of amazing things about it. Also, it's crazy light. So nowadays, it is not uncommon for fishing kayaks to be in the 120 to 140 pound range. This missile is just under 50 pounds on my scale. The entire hull is carbon fiber that has been gel coated. I went with carbon for both lightweight, rigidity, and durability. It's really not that much lighter than the glass built, but it should be significantly more burly. One of my other goals with this purchase is just to kind of get back to the basics of kayak fishing. There's no pedals, no crates, kind of nothing. I'm not even sure I'm going to put any rod holders on this beyond the 4 that are included in the aft. It's already got a self-powered bait tank. This doesn't require any batteries. It just uses the momentum of the kayak. It's got this phenomenal fish hatch here that is separate compartment lined inside the boat. So with keeping it simple in mind, all of this here, this tiny little pile, is what's going to go on this kayak. I've got a teeny piece of Yak Attack track that will hold my head unit. I'm going to use the same one that I have my Kraken. So I also have a little pigtail to go to my Noctua battery, Yak Attack through hole for wiring it, just a transducer because I said I want to use the same head unit as my other boat. So I got another one of these, and then also a power cable from the head unit that will go to the battery, and a paddle leash, and that's literally it. Super simple. This kayak is also very easy to rig with a fish finder. I've wanted one of these for a while, but the previous iterations, they had not really dialed in the transducer setup. With this brand new gen, they went from really way behind the curve to now, I think probably the sweetest setup you can have. So let's get to it. A priority for all of these stealth boats is speed. These are very fast paddle kayaks, and I think one of their obstacles in the past was how to make transducer scupper without creating a lot of turbulence. You know, in modern big fat fishing kayaks, people aren't really worried about that, so having a humongous hole in the bottom of the boat doesn't really freak anybody out, but they do create a lot of turbulence and like way more drag than you think. Anyway, Stealth has got this new setup that I think is very clever, and it's also very simple. They basically have this plate on the bottom It sort of keeps the hydraulic profile nice and smooth. It actually has the intake and the exhaust for the bait tank as well. So this little one scoops water in, and this little Venturi sucks water out. And then you just sandwich the transducer underneath this plate. There's pass through into the fish box, and it just literally gets clamped in place by this plate. Okay, so the cover is off, and you can see the setup here is really, really simple, but it's also super clever. There's this little well here. This is where your transducer will just sit, just like this. That's where it passes through into the hole. These are the intakes for the bait tank. And literally, you don't have to glue it in there or anything. The tension from the plate will just hold it in there. That said, I'm way too OCD for that. So I want to attach it somehow, even though it doesn't need it, just so it's not moving at all. So I think I'll probably just use a little bit of two-sided tape. So let's do it. Yeah, it's on there. Well, that was very simple. Now there's this little pass through, and the top of this is above water line, so you don't actually need to seal it. They give you this funky little piece of foam to put in there, and while it's not necessary, this will probably prevent gurgling and maybe upwelling in there with velocity and stuff. So, in it goes. So I plan on kind of putting all my battery and cables here, running the transducer cable and power cable for the head unit along this edge, coming through the hatch around here, and then mounting the head unit right up in this neck of the woods. All right, so here we go. To mount it there, I'm just going to use this really small little piece of yak attack track. I'm going to bolt it right there. Bolt it right there. Head unit will go on and off super easily. So for surf launching and other things, it's going to be super easy to take on and off. I'm going to use the existing fish finder that I already have. I have a lot of great waypoints on here. There's no point in having two, so this one's just going to get hopped back and forth between this and my Kraken. Lowrance Hook Reveal 5. This is nothing amazing. It does have some good waypoints in there that I like to have for either kayak, but mostly I just need to see the temperature, bottom contour, and be able to navigate home in the fog, and this will get her done. I got the wiring mocked up going into the back of the head unit, and a lot of other areas, a lot of people just sneak this under the lid, and I think that would work probably okay, but I live in the land of yak attack, and their through holes are so tidy, why not use it? This is one of those kind of inventions I wish had been around in the early days of kayak fishing, but we have them now, and I think it would be goofy not to take advantage of its existence. So here we go. If you've never used one of these little yak attack through hole kits, they're really great. Comes with this like little hard outer bezel, and then these grommets that are what the wire passes through. They sit inside here. There's two halves, so you can either do 2 wires or 1 wire and then a blank side. You get this little tree, kind of reminds me of little models when I was a little kid. They're all different sizes. They're labeled by letter, and you just match the wire size that you have with a grommet. This transducer one, I used a size B. Power cable, I'm going to use a size A, and it just comes out so ridiculously good. You do have to slit on a diagonal the little hole once you pick your size, and I'll put it all together and it will make sense. But in the end, this is a very, very easy way to pass wires through and have essentially no leakage, or at least very minimal leakage. You can seal these with you know, like some kind of goop or silicone. They recommend doing that. I never do, and they just don't leak as long as you pick the right grommet for your cable. Just a few minutes later, this is what it looks like all finished up. You can see the two grommet halves in there. They come through, go up to the back of the finder. Just way tidier than slipping it under the lid. And I noticed even after just doing that for a few minutes, the transducer cable already had a pretty good size kink in it. And I wouldn't be surprised if after a season or so of doing that, it would cause it to start to fail. So I'm stoked that I went with this setup. And I mean, it's just so tidy, so easy. Why not? While lots of equipment has become more kayak specific over the years, the one thing that really has not yet is transducer cables. Yeesh. They're always like made for an 80-foot boat or something. So I got a bunch of cables to wrangle. I'll see you in a minute. Had to take a break to do some other things, but I got my cabling all sorted out. Battery and transducer cable are just going to sit in this back corner. Wiring runs along here, through the bottom of the hatch. Close things up. And I think that came out super tidy. Really happy with the way the through hole, just that little piece of track work out. Doesn't interfere with any of the closures. I think it's going to be awesome. So that's really it for this round. This boat is rigged. That was like the easiest rigging of all time. I bet the whole project took an hour, and that was at a snail's pace. So that is it for I think this episode. The next step is going to be to get this beauty on the water and use these new electronics to see just how quickly it moves along, get my foot braces adjusted, and then get ready to go chase some fish. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, maybe give me a thumbs up, and if you are really bored, go ahead and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye.